Okay, so to start off the Namor demonstration, I'm going to show you his basic attacks, and you'll see at the bottom left, his ammo is unlimited, so you can constantly spam this however long you like. It doesn't matter, like you're never going to run out of bullets. You don't ever have to reload because it's just one trident. And as you can see, it like kind of comes back to you. So his basic attack is unlimited, and his headshots obviously will do more damage, as you can see. But that's like his basic attack is pretty basic. I mean, like you just throwing a straight like shard. And the thing with this one is kind of weird, and not a lot of characters are like this, but there's a lot of travel time. So the close up, it's gonna get there instantly, but as you can see far away, it takes a minute for it to get there. So he's not that good kind of far away. You're gonna have like pretty good aim for it to work that far, but it can still get there. It just takes a second. And there's a bullet drop, so you kind of have to aim up a little bit, just a little bit, like so. Now, to go over his kit, the first thing we'll go over is his movement, and there's not really much to go over because he doesn't have any movement. So if I get up here real quick, don't worry about this ability yet, I'll go over it, but if you get up somewhere high and there's going to be like a drop, you can hold down the space, or I guess the jump button, and you'll slow descend. So you'll kind of like glide through the air. You can't really get that far, so it's not that useful. I don't really ever use it, but it just lets it to where you can fall down slowly. Now, his next ability that we'll go over, which I guess is kind of a movement ability, is his little like shield orb looking thing down there at the bottom in the middle. That I'll show you. I'll just go ahead and show you like what it does real quick. So it kind of like launches you up in the air for a second, and you can move around in it, but it's like very limited. You move slow. So I kind of use it to like help you get up to things, but what really like comes in handy whenever I use it is it makes you immune. So long as you are in that bubble, like you're immune. Nobody can damage you. So if you're like taking a lot of damage, then you can use this orb ability and your healers can heal you. But I use it like whenever I get on low health, or if I ever just need to like quickly escape something. That's how I use that ability. Now, my favorite part, which this character does, is his little squids. So you can throw down 2 of them at a time. There's 1 squid, and there's 2 squids. And as you can see, they'll automatically just start damaging people in the area. It's kind of like a turret. So like so long as you throw them down and there are enemies around, they will do damage. Now, the cool thing with these squids is if you throw one down, like so, and use this ability right here, it sends them into like an overdrive, and it does more damage. So quickly what we'll show, if you're ever having like a one-on-one, you can throw 2 down pretty quickly and then use this ability right here, the big throw, and that sends them into a berserker mode. And like I said, they do more damage, the turrets will shoot faster, and it just makes them do more damage. So this is what it looks like. So 1, 2, throw it. Like that was pretty much instantly. And it did it so fast that like you didn't even really get a demonstration. So what I'm going to do is I'll go up here, and I'm pretty sure there's a big guy. Yeah, there's a big guy right here. So I'm going to throw down 2 squids at it. We're going to use this ability. And so long as you hit them with that ability, you have to hit them with the big trident, this ability right here. And just a second, you actually have to hit them with it to get that Berserker Squid boost. For them to do more damage, you have to hit them with it. Okay, so I'll go ahead and show you the damage difference between the 2 different modes of a squid. On like a, I feel like this would be better because it has more health. You can really see it. But here's what 1 looks like, and that's on normal mode. There's what 2 looks like on normal mode. Still not bad damage. It's not terrible. But I'll show you what it looks like when we hit them with the trident. So I'll wait for these turrets to die out, and I'll get another one back, and I'll show you in just a second. Okay, so here's what it's going to look like if they both are attacking on the Berserker mode. You can see that does way more damage. They speed up a little bit. It's not for long. It's only for a couple seconds, but it definitely is worth it. It'll get them faster, and that's typically what you want to do. You just want to throw down a squid. And you can, it doesn't even matter if it's 2. You can do it with 1. So you can throw down a squid, throw it, and it'll just start shooting faster. So That's why I like this character, because I mean you don't even really have to aim half the time if you're using your squids, and they'll just aim anywhere. So even if they're in the sky, I don't know if it'll target. Yeah, there it goes. So it'll even target like anything, and they don't miss. And that's typically what you're going to want to do with this character, is just use your squids, use your big trident ability, and send them into berserker mode. And the squids are actually really good. You can even just throw them down, and let's wait for one to spawn in the air in just a second. There it is. And you'll see they'll even like go for things in the sky. So that's why I like this character. You really like do not have to aim. The squids do the work for you. And so long as your squids are doing damage and you're trying to do damage around the map, you'll do well with this character. The next thing that I'm going to show you is just what this character will look like. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to show you is what this character's ultimate ability looks like. And it's actually kind of cool and similar to Moon Knight's, like the other video. But it's the same thing. It summons in a big circle. But instead of it lasting a while like Moon Knight's, it just sends in one big whale from the sky, and it does a lot of damage. And just like the Moon Knight ability, the more center in the circle they are, the more damage it's going to do. Now, this is what that ability looks like, and like I said, you're going to want them to be in the center as it's going to do more damage. So slowly, that's what it'll look like. And if it's a low health character, like 250, it'll kill them in one shot if they are in the middle of that. But as you can see, if you go up to a big character, it's not going to do as much damage. Let me get my ultimate ability real quick and I'll show you. But yeah, like I said, with bigger characters, it's not going to do as much damage as those little ones. So it's not going to be able to one-shot them, but it still does pretty significant damage. So I'll go ahead and call it in right here. As you can see, it didn't kill them all the way. It did a big chunk of damage right in the center of the circle, but it's not going to kill them all the way. And I don't know if you noticed, but whenever you do call that ability in, it actually does it freezes them for just a few seconds and it knocks them to the ground. While enemies are like that, they can't move, they can't do damage, they can't do anything. So for a few seconds, they're frozen. And them, it'll instantly kill it, but anybody else, it'll freeze them. I'll go ahead and show you that freeze ability better by not killing them instantly. As you have them on the outside of the circle, it's not going to do as much damage. You'll see it's going to kind of knock them over to the ground and they'll be frozen. So like here, see, it did not kill them, but it knocked them on the ground for a second. In those little seconds when they're on the ground, they actually can't move, like I said, and they can't do damage. So even if you don't kill somebody right in the center of the circle with it, it's still useful because it'll freeze a big area of people so long as they are in that area. That's pretty much it with his ultimate ability, and the next thing that I'm going to do is show you, like I did with Moon Knight, what this character looks like in a real game, so you can see kind of what you're supposed to do against real players and not just against bots in a realistic setting. Okay, so here we go with some Namor gameplay. And the first thing that I want to start off by saying is, usually in a typical game, you'll want to have 2 tanks, 2 damage characters, and 2 healers. Right here you can see at the top right, we have 3 damage characters, 2 healers, and 1 tank. Now, we actually do end up winning this game pretty good. We're working pretty bad, so you don't need to have a 2-2-2 composition to win games, but that's typically like the normal, and it's a good strategy. But like I said, it's not needed to win games. That's just my preference. And here you'll see me, what I'm doing a lot this game is throwing down a squid anytime I get them, and using my big spear attack to make sure they're in berserker mode, which will make them do more damage and shoot faster. And like you saw there, how I just saw one of those Loki clones at the top. If you ever see one of those Loki clones, go ahead and shoot it, because the enemy Loki can use those to his advantage in many different ways. So if you ever see one, just real quick, shoot it down. They don't have that much health, it's not that hard. Don't really know what I'm doing here. Kind of sit still for a little bit, but in this game mode, we're attacking this cart, and we have to push this cart all the way to like their main base, which is at the end of the map. So that's basically the objective of this game mode, and the enemy team is just trying to defend us and not let us move the cart. The more people that are on that cart thing, the faster it'll move. So you want to stay around it if you're in this game mode. And another thing too that I wanted to say, you can see during this game, I'm kind of staying back. I'm not like playing at the front. That's the tank's job. So if you're a character that doesn't have that much health, you're going to want to stay back behind your teammates that do have bigger health points. So you'll notice that I'm not too far up, and I'm usually trying to stay behind. And again, just focus on me using the squids and using the spear to send them into berserk mode. You can see there I did use my ultimate and ended up picking off one of their who was it? I think it was the shark. Or was it the shark? No, I don't know who it was, but I ended up picking off one of them from it. And remember, even if you don't hit them directly with the ultimate ability and it doesn't kill them, it still knocks them back and they're frozen for a few seconds. So pretty sure my team picked up that kill just by them being stunned. But yeah, we're just trying to advance the cart here. I'm trying to stay back a little bit. I don't want to push too far forward. And you can see right here they're using their ult, and that was a perfect example on when to use that spear ability. If I hadn't have used that right there, that character would have blown me up and one-shotted me. So if you ever like are in a position to where you're low health or you need to avoid damage that'll happen instantly, just use that ability and you are immune. Once you are in that bubble, nothing can kill you in the game. So it's a really good tool to use whenever you're in a pickle type situation, and it'll help you a lot in many different scenarios. See, we're beating these guys pretty bad. We're already almost at their base, so it's not going to be too hard this game. You can see here their enemy Captain America, they're pushing up too far. He's losing his team, so you can see him go back. That actually was a good play. That's how you want to play. In this game, you always want to be in your team. There's my ult. I kind of wasted it there. I didn't really get anybody, but we were going to win the game anyways, so it doesn't really matter. But that's the first half of the game. Didn't go too bad. I feel like I showed you how to use the spear correctly, and you can see that I am constantly throwing down the squids and using the spears for them to do more damage. This character is very easy to use. That's really all you need to focus on. Alright, so here we are. Now we're on the defending side, so they're going to be doing exactly what we just tried to do, and now we are trying to stop them. So they're spawning in now, and
I've got you covered.
Yep, right here we got their Captain America pushing up. You can see he dipped back to his team because, again, like, this is a numbers game. You don't want to be outnumbered in this game. You will get whooped. And that was a perfect example. Captain America pushed up way too far, and we absolutely demolished him as he was outnumbered. See there, their team actually pulled me closer to them, and I was kind of like caught in the sauce for a second, but you can see I used my spear to block all incoming damage and make sure I could get out of there without dying. Here I am again, just throwing down the squids. And I'm going to use my spear here to block the damage he's about to do. It's a good play. And I actually died there. I got stuck. He pulled me closer to him, and he was focusing only on me and not the team. So that's how I died there. And here we're back, getting back into the fight. Doing some poke damage just to get my ultimate back, because in this game, if you didn't know, you actually do get your ultimate ability quicker the more damage you do. So you want to try to do damage constantly. And you can see there, their enemy Jeff tried to use their ult. You can see he swallowed my team. And if you'll look over on the right side of the screen, he's about to dump them off the map. And right there, boom, he got two of them. So you can see I used my spear to get on higher ground so I couldn't get caught there. I actually got pushed by their Thor shortly after using my spear to try to block some damage and outplay him, but I do end up dying here. But that's still a good showcase of the shield. I bought myself some time, and If my team was paying enough attention, I probably could have gotten some help from them. Here we are, back again. And their Thor pushed up too far. Yep, that's exactly what you can't do, like I was saying earlier. Pushing up solo by yourself is the worst thing you could possibly do in this game. Captain America doing the same thing. Let's see the outcome. And it's the exact same. Pushed up too far. And exact same with the Bucky. So that's like living proof right there 3 times in a row. Do not push up away from your team. Stay with your team at all times. Do not go by yourself. And here's that fantastic guy that killed me earlier. I'm actually getting hella heals right now, so yeah, I actually scare him away, get him to go back to his team. But they got the cart, so they're gonna go ahead and push up more. There's another ultimate ability. I ended up getting the Jeff with that. And it was fantastic as they went too far, so you can see him going back to his team. Their Thor didn't make the same mistake, and you could see he actually went back. He got too far, and he tried to get back to his team. It was too late, but that's what you want to do. If you do find yourself like in the sauce of the enemy team, just like do your very best to get back. And this right here too, like it's outnumbered. It's literally a 4v1. That Bucky, he's not gonna live. So if your team is dying, you do want to try to get out of there like he did. Don't even try to fight anymore. Just turn around and fall back. And again, right there, almost died. So I used a sphere. I used the slow descent actually, so he couldn't see me. So that bought me some more time too. Again, squids, trying to hit people with the spear. Doing as much damage as I can to get my ultimate back. And you can see how like I'm playing back. Like I don't have any strong characters on my team on the front line, so if they get too close, I'm just constantly walking backwards. You can still do damage while you're falling back. You don't have to completely turn around, but that's typically how I play it. And I'm pretty sure I used that just to like get out of there because yeah, I was getting stuck, but I actually don't know where I go from here. So that's kind of like the movement aspect of that spear ability. You don't necessarily have to use it every time you're taking damage. You can use it just to get to high ground in a way. Yep, that Jeff was getting focused. So if you're a healer, you really don't want to take one-on-one fights unless you absolutely have to. So I wouldn't typically push somebody like that, like he did, because you saw what happened. He died. And again, right there, using the spear to get away. I saved myself there, actually. I had 40 HP left. I definitely would have died if I hadn't. So this character does have a lot of survivability. There's a lot of things you can do in a lot of different situations to save yourself. He's very versatile. Another ult. Got the Jeff with that one. It's a great ult. Getting their healers is probably the most important thing you want to do, because if they don't have heals, then I mean, there's nothing that can stop us from doing damage. This game is also all about heals. So whichever team usually can heal the most, that's usually the team that's gonna win most of the time. And there's that Bucky again, just getting singled out because the rest of his team died.
That is much better.
Get that vehicle moving again.
And I think, yep, that's the game. So I feel like that's pretty, like, this character is very simple. Like, as an overview, just make sure you're putting down those squids every single time that you have one. Throw down your squid, and every time your trident refills, go ahead and throw that ability. And if you hit somebody with it, your squids are going to do more damage. And that's like the best part about this character is your squids. So you want to try to maximize the damage output that you are doing with those squids. And again, like with the sphere, if you're in a sticky situation, just go ahead and use that ability. It'll get you to high ground. You're immune, so that'll give you time for your healers to start healing you. And usually whoever's attacking you, they'll stop attacking you, because there's no point in shooting somebody that's, I mean, immune. There's no point. So it'll take the focus off you just for a second, and even if it is just for a second, you can see in this game multiple times that all you need is that little time to survive. And that's really important, because it does take a long time to get back to your team after you die. So dying in this game actually is a pretty big toll. And you can see here, I only died twice. I only had to walk back twice. So I got to maximize my damage output, like here, 16,000 damage. Anything over 10k is, I mean, that's pretty freaking good. Yeah, teammate here actually did way more than me, so this guy's actually insane. But yeah, I feel like that was a pretty good tutorial on like how to use Namor. You got to see him in like a training mode just to see his abilities, and I got to show you them in action in a really good gameplay that I got not too long ago. So I hope this video helped you on learning this character, and I know that you're having a lot of fun on this game, and I'm sure me and Journey would love to get together with you and play some more Marvel Rivals. And in the meantime, you can just practice. You can practice, and like I said, you want to pick 1 or 2 characters that you like using and just really focus and get really good with those characters, and once you master them, then you can move on to the next if you'd like. But I think it's best to master your favorite character, get super good with it, and the better you are at this game, the more you're going to want to play it. It's addicting. So yeah, I hope this helped you a lot, and the next video will be on Moon Knight.